for a fact.
Good money, good money.
This is something I wanted for myself a long time ago. I just never thought it was going to happen. This is definitely going to be a treat for the fans. Two of the hardest hitters in boxing, David Benavidez and Gervonta Davis. We've been training here for the past. Every time we focus and ourselves 100% on boxing, we know exactly where we're going.
I'm not a kid anymore. Taking my priorities serious. These things matter.
I read a lot of messages that people send me, and there's people be like, you know what, bro, you're an inspiration to me. You motivate me a lot. That's really what keeps my engine going. I can't let these people down, and I won't let these people down. I definitely do it for the fans. I don't think the fans know how much they mean to me. They're not even my fans. I feel like they're my family.
Defeat isn't something I accept easily. I despise the feeling that comes with it. The preparation has officially started. Gervonta Davis has launched a rigorous new training phase alongside the Benavidez team, and the first clips released have already captured the attention of fans and analysts alike. Could this mark the beginning of a transformative resurgence in his professional journey?
David Morrell is definitely in trouble for this fight. At the end of the day, nobody fights like me. He's definitely in for the hardest fight of his life. I'm evolving as a fighter and as a man.
Number one. David Benavidez, he's another guy that's coming inside the ring. If it do play a big part, I take advantage of it.
While the training visuals continue to spark conversation across social media and boxing circles, Sean Porter observed that Gervonta Davis seemed to have discovered the ideal partnership with Jose Benavidez Sr. He elaborated that meaningful progress in the gym frequently hinges on mutual respect and ease of communication, and he felt Tank had finally found a mentor who encouraged authenticity while maintaining tactical alignment, fostering the type of synergy that has the potential to unlock his most elite performances.
I feel like he's comfortable with Jose, and just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's gonna get this light flipped up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that, you know, when I'm ready to move, they moving. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
Veteran analyst Stephen Farhood maintains that Gervonta Davis stands to gain tremendously from his collaboration with Jose Benavidez Sr. He highlighted Tank's remarkable natural gifts and noted that following such an extended period under the same corner's instruction, an alternative viewpoint and different strategic approach might be exactly what's needed to push his abilities to an even higher plateau.
Gervonta Davis is going to do well with Jose Benavidez. Gervonta Davis is an extremely talented fighter. He probably has learned everything that he can learn from Kenny and Calvin, having been with those guys for so long. So it may do him some good to have different eyes on that scenario.
Showbiz the Adult maintains that working under Jose Benavidez Sr. requires instant accountability and the ability to execute techniques at championship-level intensity from the opening session. He referenced Ryan Garcia's training experience, noting how the Benavidez camp swiftly refined his mechanics and insisted he operate at maximum velocity right from the start. From his perspective, that strict coaching philosophy was instrumental in Ryan's growth and ultimate victories, implying that Gervonta Davis stands to gain equally from the same uncompromising structure and expectations.
The fighter shape, but what I'm saying is they're going to teach you form, make you learn it right now, and practice it at a high pace. And that just killed me. I mean, completely washed me out. I mean, they did the same thing with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia showed up there and he had to deal with the family, get all of that culture together and the community stuff together. Then he had to learn the form from David Benavidez and Jose Benavidez Sr. He had to apply it right now and demonstrate it full speed. And what did that lead to? For the first time ever, Ryan Garcia could call himself champion. And I mean, not interim, not secondary, not kinda, but 100% full welterweight WBC champion. And it just so happened to follow training under the tutelage of Jose Benavidez.
Showbiz the Adult contended that Gervonta Davis's remarkably low punch volume has historically been a signature element of his approach, rooted in his patience, sense of timing, accuracy, devastating power, and superior ring intelligence. That said, he felt that methodology backfired against Tank in his bout with Lamont Roach, as Roach provided very limited opportunities for Davis to capitalize on defensive mistakes. Showbiz proposed that training under Jose Benavidez Sr. might enable Davis to develop better at manufacturing his own offensive chances rather than waiting exclusively to counter, calling the decision to link up with the Benavidez camp a strategic upgrade for the upcoming phase of his boxing career.
Lack of activity is historic. I mean, he is the lowest volume fighter in the world. And a lot has to do with his timing, his IQ, his precision, and his power. He throws something when he sees something. But it just so happens to make him a low activity fighter. And against Lamont Roach, I think that has something to do with the trouble Lamont Roach gave him, because Lamont Roach didn't give him much. So Gervonta, he really couldn't find too much to counter. And in that situation, he had to try to punch Lamont Roach open. And that just didn't work well for that fight. But getting coached by the Benavidezes, oh, they definitely know how to punch you open, then counter. I think Gervonta Tank Davis made a very headsy choice to try.
Hello, Jose Benavidez Sr. Greg Hackett celebrated Gervonta Davis's anticipated return, characterizing Tank as one of the sport's most electrifying draws. He elaborated that every Davis appearance brings with it the promise of a breathtaking finish, and voiced his desire that his comeback adversary would be a credible, elite-level fighter deserving of the opportunity to compete against someone of his stature.
I mean, I'm just happy Tank coming back. Tank's exciting. All the guys are exciting, but Tank, there's always a big question mark when Tank get in the ring. Somebody about to get knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean? I just hope it's a good guy. Somebody, you know, we can respect.
Even as Gervonta Tank Davis stays locked in on his return to action, the conversation has already pivoted toward a potential mega fight with Devin Haney. With rumors surrounding the highly anticipated encounter gaining traction by the day, Haney wasted no time accepting the challenge, declaring his willingness to compete and finally make one of boxing's most talked about matchups a concrete reality. Devin Haney responded enthusiastically, saying, "Let's make it happen." Gervonta Davis brushed aside the rising self-assurance coming from Devin Haney's camp, pointing out that stringing together a few victories can lead fighters to overestimate their standing. He emphasized that fighting him represents an altogether different proposition, asserting that entering the ring with the division's top champion would deliver Haney the most lucrative opportunity of his career, while simultaneously presenting the most formidable obstacle he's ever faced.
They get a few wins and they get a little above themselves. They ain't really like. They come see me and I give them a real. They get a real check. Yeah. A real check, and they get a real opponent. And I won't even say no real opponent, a real, you know what I mean, the champ.
They'll be challenging the champion. In the meantime, Gervonta Tank Davis responded directly to Devin Haney by expressing his willingness to finally resolve their ongoing dispute inside the squared circle. With sources suggesting that both sides have opened lines of communication, the much-anticipated confrontation suddenly feels more realistic than it's ever been. "I'm targeting the fighter with the prominent nose. Let's make this official." Building on that momentum, Bill Haney confirmed that discussions surrounding a prospective showdown with Gervonta Tank Davis have progressed beyond mere speculation. He gave credit to his ongoing dialogue with Al Heyman for strengthening his belief that the contest can be finalized, and he insisted there should be absolutely no weight training or rehydration restrictions, with the fight scheduled at no less than 144 pounds.
So I consider this as real. Me and Al have had discussions. That's made it even more real. Never has anyone said anything about any dehydration, rehydration, or anything for that matter. So I think that it should be, and what it should be, is a fair fight. You know, and that weight is to be determined, but it won't be anything under 144 pounds.
Despite negotiations picking up speed, Bill Haney acknowledged that a significant challenge still stood in the way. He expressed his view that the hardest part isn't what unfolds during the actual fight, but rather convincing Gervonta "Tank" Davis to officially sign on the dotted line. Nonetheless, Haney clarified that his respect for Tank and his entire team remains unwavering throughout this process.
I think that's going to be the hardest part for Debo to get him in the ring than to actually be in the ring. And I think more people are starting to understand that maybe Bill Haney might have a little bit of truth to it by the confidence that we've shown about it. But ultimately, I have a lot of respect for him and that team.
Offering his take on the situation, Tim Bradley urged both sides to stop the public sparring and finalize the long overdue battle. When assessing the likely outcome, he leaned in favor of Devin Haney, citing Haney's steady fight schedule, size and reach benefits, and refined technical boxing abilities as factors that would likely give him the edge over Gervonta "Tank" Davis.
That's it. Make the fights. Surprise us sometime. Please surprise us. Dang it. Less talking, more action. But that's my take on that fight. You want to know who I think would win if they were to fight? Devin Haney. Ooh, Tim, you crazy. Tim, you crazy. Ain't no way he gonna beat Tank Davis. Ain't no way. Tank got too much power for him. Tank this, Tank that. What about Dev? Dev been active. Dev been busy. I'm going with the more active fighter. The one that's been busy. That's who I'm going with. The bigger fighter. The guy that can box.
That's the fighter I'm picking. In Tim Bradley's assessment, the edge goes to the competitor who has stayed busy and maintained peak sharpness through regular ring appearances, while stressing that complete boxing proficiency matters more than knockout power alone. He also reacted positively to reports of Gervonta "Tank" Davis possibly teaming up with Jose Benavidez Sr, expressing hope that the change reignites Tank's hunger and mental clarity.
They have been busy. I'm going with the more active fighter. The one that's been busy. That's who I'm going with. The bigger fighter. The guy that can box. That's who I'm going with. Tank can box? Yeah. Oh, and I'm hearing the also that Tank is getting ready, supposedly, sorry about that, that's my dog. Supposedly, Tank is supposed to be going with Benavidez Sr. Really? Look, I'll say this. I hope that Benavidez Sr. can bring back some desire. I hope he can bring back a jar of desire and instill it in Tank.
At the same time, Showbiz the Adult argued that any agreement between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Devin Haney ought to feature an even distribution of the purse. He acknowledged Tank's track record as the historically bigger ticket seller, but contended that Haney's frequent activity and growing list of accomplishments have narrowed the divide, especially after Tank's controversial draw with Lamont Roach.
The Haneys start with 50-50. And then we can work from you standing strong down. That's how all negotiations happen. Now, do I think it's a 50-50 fight? Yes and no. Financially, obviously not. I would never see Tank Davis as an undercard. Never. But merit-wise, it's 50-50. Because Tank, where you been? Your last fight was a draw against Lamont Roach coming up. Debo became another division champion and been fighting and putting in work. Times Square cards and big time shit, right?
So why does merit matter? Charmel Mouton analyzed the potential clash from a weight class perspective, explaining that the chosen limit could heavily influence which fighter comes out on top. In his estimation, Tank's punching power and physical strength make him the front-runner at 135 pounds, but the fight becomes far more evenly matched at 140. He went on to say that Haney's lateral movement and technical precision could enable him to accumulate sufficient rounds on the scorecards if Tank is unable to land his most devastating shots.
Devin versus Tank.
It depends on what weight. Like if it's at 35, then Devin, he's not gonna be able to mess with Tank at all. I just feel like Tank too strong at 35. Yeah. Devin
unable to hurt him at any stage. Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez offered a contrasting portrayal of Gervonta Davis, suggesting that his achievements stemmed less from traditional boxing fundamentals and more from constant forward pressure and sheer ferocity. Lopez felt Tank's aggressive approach was shaped by the intense boxing environment of Washington, D.C., where physical durability and relentless offense took precedence over refined technique. From his standpoint, Davis's upbringing produced a fierce warrior rather than a conventional technical pugilist.
Either fighter could win that fight. Tank, he got the power, he got the equalizers. Anything can happen with Tank. But Tank give away a lot of rounds. So maybe if he's not able to land that punch and Devin keep winning rounds, stacking rounds, and then maybe the last, 5 rounds, Devin just move around, play it safe. That's Devin's decision, so either fighter could win that one.
Shifting to the fight's dynamics, Eddie Hearn commended Devin Haney for his professionalism, work ethic, and commitment to excellence. Simultaneously, he described Gervonta "Tank" Davis as a rare talent possessing the type of innate gifts that emerge only once in a generation. Hearn suggested the outcome would largely hinge on Davis's mental approach, noting that a fully focused Tank possesses the capabilities to overcome anyone in front of him. He further noted that whoever emerges victorious would substantially elevate their profile and inch closer to becoming one of boxing's premier stars.
He's not a boxer. See, people don't understand this. Tank is not a boxer. He grew up from headbangers in D.C., and they used to put a tire in the middle, put their foot in the middle of that tire, and bang it out in D.C.
As the rumors persisted, Devin Haney returned to his training routine in anticipation of a possible matchup with Gervonta Davis.
I mean, look, you just don't know how Tank's going to come back. When did he last fight?
March against him.
So a year and a half? I mean, longer time he gets, say the fight happened in November, December, like a year and a half. And he's been through a lot. But Tank is an unbelievable talent.
Devin Haney resumed his sparring sessions as preparations ramped up for his prospective comeback bout. The work concentrated on refining his rhythm, lateral mobility, and overall crispness in advance of his upcoming assignment. Devin Haney's coach noted that Haney had established his reputation through quickness, nimble footwork, and boxing intelligence, maximizing those strengths during his prime years. He mentioned that the jump to 140 pounds had enhanced Haney's stopping power, even though his primary strategy had always centered on outboxing rivals and accumulating rounds. The coach felt Haney had matured into a more seasoned title holder, who was now beginning to plant his feet and leverage his punches, anticipating his power would emerge as a more significant factor in future contests.
It's Haney time. You know what time it is. It's Haney time. Now what?
That covered all the recent updates and storylines surrounding this potential blockbuster. However, the most critical questions remain unanswered, and the boxing community will be monitoring the situation closely to see how events unfold from here. What are your opinions on everything that has transpired? Drop your perspective in the comments section. If this content provided value, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications so you stay informed about the latest boxing headlines, updates, and expert breakdowns. Appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you in the next upload.
With Devin's IQ and boxing, being young and having the speed and the legs, he's taking advantage of that now. While you're young, you got to use that speed and your legs, because as you get older, your legs and your speed deteriorates. You know what I mean? But Devin does have power. Speed is power. And going up to 140, he's got a lot more power now. And Devin always been a puncher. He's just been concentrating on speed, winning each and every round, winning each and every minute of every round. That's what's more important. But he's becoming more mature. He's a veteran champion now. And I think he wants knockouts now. So I think the power is really going to come out of Devin Haney from 140 pounds and up from here on out on his career.